Today is the final day of the UEFA Champions League group stage matches. Today is the final day. Like everybody is going to know where he lies. Either you are going to qualify direct to the round of 16, or you are going to play at the playoff, or you are not going to completely participate in the next round of the UEFA Champions League, which means you end below the playoff zone. Yes, that is the current spot of Napoli. That is where they are. They are below the playoff zone. So tell me if Napoli knows that, since Napoli have known that they are below the playoff zone, and then they are playing a certain Chelsea side of which they are already at the top eight. Chelsea are already at the top eight. And if Chelsea relax and say that yeah, we are already at the top eight, which is the spot for the direct round of 16, and then they got relaxed and then Napoli beat them. If Napoli eventually beat them, that means Napoli are going to qualify from from the playoff zone. If Chelsea relax and think that already we are at the round of 16 spots, we are at the round of 16 spots, so we don't need to we don't need to stress ourselves. Let's reserve some energy to play in the Premier League, or let's reserve the energy for other leagues. Since we are already at the top eight, Napoli may shock them. Yes, Napoli may shock them and then win. If Napoli eventually win against Chelsea, we will see Napoli leaving that spot where they are now. We know Napoli are below the playoff zone currently, but if they eventually win Chelsea, Napoli are going to move to the not Napoli are going to participate at the playoff. And then match like Barcelona and Copenhagen, Barcelona are going to play Copenhagen. We know that Barcelona are already at the playoff zone with 13 points, and then Copenhagen are outside the playoff zone with 8 points. And if Barcelona think that yes, we have secured this spot, we can just reserve our energy for other leagues and other competition since we have secured this spot to play at the playoff, and then eventually Copenhagen beat Barcelona today. That match against Barcelona, we'll see Copenhagen moving from outside the playoff zone and then getting qualified to participate at the playoff. So you can see how these matches will be interesting. Teams that are below the playoffs or teams that are below the direct qualification, which is the top eight, teams that are below the top eight might eventually finish at the top eight. And then teams that are already and currently at the top eight might not be at that position. They might drop to the playoff zone. That's one interesting thing about the matches of today that is scheduled for the same time. If you play, it affects you. If you joke, it affects you. So let's see, who do you think is going to qualify at the direct round of 16 spot, and then which team do you think is going to qualify at the playoff spot?